Elizabeth, you've got to see this guy in action. He is an incredible shot. None of my guys could beat him in a fight, and he's ex-military.
You're not just being charitable.
No, I'm not. And I think he'd make a great addition to my team.
We don't know anything about him.
What's there to know?
Well, anything would be helpful.
Brad and I actually disagreed initially about what Ronan's character should be. I think Brad wanted the new character to be a military guy who came on the Daedalus, but I felt that that limited us story-wise, because anyone in the military who was subordinate in rank to Shepard would ultimately have to follow his lead. Without knocking Rainbow Sun Franks and his performance of Ford, which was great, I think that we recognized his contributions to the team were not as significant as we would have, liked that characters to be. What I thought was interesting about the Teal'c-O'Neill relationship is that Teal'c followed O'Neill, but out of respect. And I thought that would be a good dynamic to try and emulate. There was a lot of debate, I think. The studio at the time was questioning the idea of putting another alien on the team. And of course, we already had Tayla. There's a uniqueness to her that you don't want to water down by bringing in another character who may or may not have crossover in terms of the type of beats you would play in a scene or in a particular storyline. We talked it out and ultimately, I think, came up with a really cool compromise, which is that he is an alien, but he has a military background.
Specialist Ronon Dix.
That's you?
Name and rank.
Military?
I used to be.
So he has the type of backstory that allows him to be a credible addition to the team because of his military expertise, but who also gives us an unpredictability. You just never know what he's going to do and whether he's going to break rules because he doesn't care. You never knew when you walked into a situation whether he was going to see someone that he had to, run off and kill, or whether he had done something on that planet that was going to cause the team to get into trouble. He's not afraid of being court-martialed or having to get kicked off of Atlantis because he was sort of so fly-by-night to start with.
Ronon is the best weapon that Stargate Atlantis could have at this point. He is, in addition to the team that we didn't have before, he's military. So he's unpredictable. And that's one of his strengths, that he can go and do whatever he wants to. And it's like trying to put your hand on the front of a truck that's moving forward. It doesn't stop him.
She said her offer is fair.
Ronon adds a physicality and a sort of a testosterone factor to the team. You didn't have a guy who was going to immediately pull his gun and or punch somebody in the face, and I think that's always a fun element to add to the scene. Plus, it really gave a different dynamic for Shepard and McKay to really play off of.
Ronon Dex, when we meet him, has been 7 years fighting Wraith on his own, by himself. And it has changed him from the time he was captured on Satida to the time that we find him. Every waking moment was fighting Wraith. And he's figured out 1,000 different ways to kill them. What happens is he joins the Stargate Atlantis team and is able to focus that anger on just wiping them out.
When I read the script, I hadn't seen Stargate. I really don't have a TV and I don't watch a lot of TV, but What I first loved about it is that being that I'm Hawaiian, not white at all, dreadlocks, I'm never gonna play in a Western. I'm never gonna be doing gunslinging.
You're lucky I had that sense of stun.
Before I got the show, I knew nothing of martial arts, swords, guns. I've never even shot a gun until that first scene when I shoot a P90, and so it was a bit weird.
Good.
He's got the big gun. He's got a million knives that we don't even know where they're hidden. When you watch The Hive and there's a line, you're gonna have trouble getting through an airport.
Just have a hell of a time going through airports.
He has weapons hidden all over him, all the time. And the fact that he had to be alone, he hasn't been with anybody for 7 years. In Runner, there's a line, I once had a real meal at a village near the Stargate. The next day I came back and they were wiped out. And that has to change you. His knowledge of the Wraith is a huge thing. We haven't really exploited it in season 2 yet, but we will.
What do you got?
Fresh tracks, Tim. Like I've always said that he's very primal, he just goes off of his instincts. I just relate him to like a wolf, you know? Doesn't really think, he just reacts. And I think the team kind of trains him not to be such a killer.
And if you ever use my friendship in such a way again, I will not be so understanding.
When we saw the first video of Jason, you know, we both looked at each other and said, God, if he can act, he's the guy. It's the sort of role that really depends on a presence in the scene. It's not so much about emoting or long soliloquies.
When I first met Jason, I thought we couldn't have cast a better character for this guy because he is Ronon. On the other hand, there's a part of Ronon that none of us have seen that is Jason. And Jason is a very fun-loving, very easy-laughing. What Jason brings to Ronon is a cool alter ego for what's written. If you typecast somebody, that's the character that they are, and there's not much expansion. Jason really concentrates on the acting. There's so much room for expansion.
There's a great scene early on. Shepard has pitched Weir on Ronon actually sticking around, and she goes to see him in the training room where he's advising some soldiers on his fighting skills. And she tries to, you know, strike up a conversation with him, and he basically just stares at her and has these one-word answers.
So I guess we'll just keep in touch then.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a great silent performance. It takes real skill for an actor to actually come across well in that type of scene. And he does it beautifully, and it's that wonderfully tough, dry sense of humor that I love, and that is a lot of fun to write for.
That's it. One Wraith in the forest.
Yes.
Done by morning.
One of the first scenes I shot with Jason was in the cave, and he came in, and his size is overwhelming because you see him walk in and he's all dressed like a bear, and I changed the way I was going to shoot it. But as soon as I saw him in costume, I thought, I have to shoot this a certain way so that I don't really know what kind of man it is.
It was really weird because I was supposed to, when I was coming in, we had about a week off before I got here, and the schedule got pushed ahead of time, so I landed at about 4. Saw my outfit at 6 o'clock, and it's like football pads made out of stingray, leather, and bolts, and like claws on my hands, and it was just like, I mean, completely jumped right into the character. I had ideas what I was kind of going to play in my head, and I was, you know, talking to wardrobe what I might wear, and these ladies were amazing. Like the stuff I put on, it just threw me right into the character. They covered me in mud next day at 6 a.m., 25 pounds of armor, guns like that big, swords, like, I mean, I was thrown right into it, but it helped a lot. I mean, I'm sitting in a cave. I mean, it wasn't really hard to act.
From the first moment in the first scene where he kind of turned around and was this, you know, mud-covered, dreadlocked, predator-esque looking guy, it was like, wow, he's perfect. He's scary, he's got the voice, he's someone you wanted in the foxhole beside you, or when he says lines like,
"You want to live, stay behind me."
you believe it and you get behind him because you just take one look at him and realize he's right.
He has the size, he's got the strength, he has this growl in his personality that is so cool.
Ronan, you need to trust us.
I do. That's why he's here and you're still alive. I get to work, Doc.
No, I think it definitely adds an aspect to that the first season didn't have. I mean, all the different characters. I mean, all our characters are completely different, and I think that's what was missing. Someone that was just total gung-ho.
Jason just brings a flair to what he does that is, you know, unlike, I think, anyone else on television. He does this move where he jumps up and kind of punches down as he's in the midair, and then there was a show we were just shooting recently called Michael, where he comes in and grabs a guy and literally slams him up against the wall. You know, it's just great to see that sort of thing.
Keep your hands off her.
Ronan, we were sparring as part of his physical therapy. Let him go. Now!
One of the interesting things about Ronan is that he plays the strength of James Bamford. Our stunt coordinator, Bam Bam, has a unique ability to be able to make a fight out of anything. And now he has a fighter that he can do that with. So when you take the stunt coordinator's real strength and you take the actor's real strength and you put them together, we're going to have way better fights.
The fight in Runner is one of the better fights we've done on both series. And that's to our stunt coordinator Bam Bam's credit as well. It's, I'm sure, a privilege for him to be able to do things that he knows are going to come off better than expected on screen as well.
Jason came up to me the first day and said, "I got bad knees." And I'd heard this for 9 years with Chris Judge. Now Jason comes in and says, "I got bad knees." I said, "Okay, well, do what you can." He ran so fast. He ran faster than we could drive beside him. When he's running away from the Wraith, the camera follows him. He gets shot in the leg. He goes down on one knee, gets back up, and Ford is standing there. Ford is about to shoot him. Ronan gets zapped by the Wraith from behind. He goes down. Ford shoots the Wraith, walks away. The shot ends on Ronan's back, and he gets up, and he runs for about 100 yards further in, knocking trees over and splashing through bogs and crushing everything. And I thought, I couldn't do that. Jason is impressive in the way that he's physical.
For sure, we will be getting into Ronan's, you know, history a little more. Maybe visit some planets he's visited, and he has quite a detailed past. His planet was involved in a battle with the Wraith, and we haven't really explored much about him. He's been sort of the, you know, tall, dark, and mysterious type so far, and it would be great to really get into his backstory a little bit more.
We all know who this man was. What he was. If anyone here believes he should be avenged, here I am.
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving what's on the action, and I think that'll always be there. But as far as acting went, I mean, I'd like to explore, you know, what happened on Satita. Like, did he leave a fiance behind? Something that cuts to the core more of him than just constantly just reacting, or maybe seeing him fall for once. To see his, you know, see his weaknesses would be nice.
He's got some just great moments that make you happy he's around. I can't say anything but nice things about Jason because he could kick my ass. So.
Yeah, so the stunts on the show, it's just awesome. I've been training with our stunt coordinator James Bamford, and it's like it's really great because I'll make up all these moves and stuff like that, and he'll show up to set and we'll just kind of like put the people in place, and so I kind of get to do my own blocking. You know, it's pretty cool. So I mean, what do you think? It's pretty much right? Do my own blocking.